It's on.
It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. Here we go.
Big 57.
Yeah, that's about right.
1965 palmetto green. Tri-power 4-speed AC GTO. Frame up restoration. Car was fairly rough, but it was a nice. The exterior of the body wasn't horribly bad. All original exterior sheet metal on it. Not a nut or bolt on the car that hasn't been touched. We worked closely with a GTO AA tech on the car, make sure everything was correct on it. It's got a lot of nice options. It's got AC, tilt steering, rear speaker, power antenna, the tri-power. So it's a pretty cool car, 4-speed, fun to drive.
This one, no. So this car was original 4-barrel car, correct?
Yep.
But the owner opted for an original or a period correct tri-power?
Yep, all date coded correct. A lot of people do that just because it's a nice upgrade. If you notice under the hood, there's a lot of different hues of like the blacks and that. That's all things that they did at the factory where something was painted at a different time. So things had different sheens of black on them. A lot of attention to detail. You learn a lot of things when you're doing these cars, even from the tech. So you put all that stuff in the old memory bank, and hopefully when you do the next one, you remember 3/4 of it, so you don't have to call anybody on the next one.
So how often do the techs agree on what's correct on a car?
Well, it sounds like they do have disagreements every once in a while about what should have this overspray or that overspray on it and what shouldn't, and so it's like anything, none of us were there back then, and I'm sure a lot of them have seen original cars, but like we've discussed, whoever sprayed the spatter paint on the trunk on Monday, Larry might have been a different guy, Joe, on Friday, and they sprayed it at a different angle and sprayed it, up on the tail lights, and the first guy didn't do that, and so that's what causes the feuds, I'm sure, with the judges later on in life. So
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. Let's go take a look at the spatter paint in the trunk and we'll talk about how that's kind of an issue.
So a lot of times, they look at the way the speckles are. They look at how the spatter comes up onto the paint, where it stops at, how everything is mounted in the car, where it comes up into here, what had spatter paint on it, what didn't, what was in the car when they spatter painted it, what wasn't, as far as like wiring, tail lights. You can see like on the spare tire, that's a kind of an example of the overspray. You see how the overspray comes up onto the rim on the back side from the front side of the rim.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all kind of things that they look at.
So the silver you're talking about, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the 65 version of a power antenna.
Yep.
Doesn't retract all the way.
Nope.
And,
Maybe larger than it appears.
yeah, it's got the motor down inside the trunk.
Then they have the rally gauges with the wood grain dash, the sport wheel, the wood grain sport wheel,
Mm-hmm.
her shifter. Cool car.
So why do we disconnect the battery on these cars?
It's just kind of a safety precaution, when people aren't around at night, you don't like to leave cars hooked up. a safety thing.
Sounds nice. The last time we did this, it was a 36 Ford. The technology is a little different today.
Yeah.
But now we're at 65.
It's got about, this has about 320 more horse than that Ford had, so. This was 366 horse from the factory, so. A little bit more than the old Ford.
And the key actually starts the car. It doesn't just unlock the steering column
Right.
like it